Hi guys, welcome to my English learning channel. Today we're gonna talk about most common mistakes in English grammar. I'm absolutely sure everyone is afraid of making mistakes, especially when we are speaking about grammar. So today I will show you some of the most common mistakes that everyone makes every day, and we will discuss them, and maybe after this lesson you will never make these mistakes. So let's start. Okay, so the first common mistake, it is when we use our verb to be everywhere. Do not do like this. We have to build a sentence, right? When we are building a sentence, we have to have some verbs. So, for example, if I have a sentence, I see something, I have my verb see. So if I have in my sentence actual verb, I do not use the verb to be. I cannot say I am see because it's incorrect. I cannot use the verb to be with the main verb. So I cannot use the verb to be in a sentence where I already have my verb. So if I have a verb I see, I do not have to use I am see. Never. I see. For example, the next one will be he goes, not he is go. Present simple, it will be he goes. And the next one, we do, not we are do, we do. So you cannot use the verb to be in a sentence where you have your actual verb. So I see, he goes, we do, but without the verb to be. So the second mistake, it is when students say I haven't. Like they want to say that they don't have this thing or they haven't got this thing, but they say I haven't. We cannot use haven't itself. If I want to say I haven't a car, no, it's incorrect. I say I don't have a car in present simple. I am absolutely sure that you have heard the phrase haven't when you were speaking about haven't got or hasn't got. So here we can say I haven't got a car or he hasn't got a car, but I cannot say I haven't a car. So haven't itself you can use with haven't got or hasn't got or in present perfect. But if you want to say that you don't have something, you use don't have. Or if it is past simple, you use I didn't have. If it is future, you say I will not have. So I don't have, not haven't. Okay, next one. Here you see that I have two adjectives, boring and bored. So is it a mistake to say boring? Is it a mistake to say bored? No way. They are correct, like both variants are correct, but you have to know when to use them. For example, speaking about boring. Boring, I can say that the book is boring. It means that a thing like provides this feeling of boredom. Like I am bored because of this book. Like this book gives me the feeling that I am bored. So the book is boring. The book is boring. But if I have the feeling of boredom, I will say I am bored. I am bored. Like I don't know what to do. I have nothing to do. I am bored. Or there is no TV. Or there is no internet. I am bored. So the book is boring. I can say when the thing gives me the feeling that I am bored. But I have the feeling, so I will say I am bored. So ed ending we use when we are talking about people's feelings, and ing ending I use when I am speaking about some things that are interesting, boring, or something like that. For example, my work is tiring. This work gives me feeling that I am tired. So work is tiring and I am tired. Or for example, I can say my trip is exciting. Like trip gives me the feeling that I am excited, but trip is exciting. So I have the feeling I am excited, ed ending, and the trip is exciting. So the next mistake is connected to first conditional. I agree that sometimes conditionals can be difficult, but zero and first conditional, they are pretty easy, although some students are still making mistakes in it. So we have a sentence: if it will rain, we will not go to the park. You see that mistake is will. It means that after if, in this clause after if, I can't use will. In this clause after if, I have to use present simple form. If it rains, we will not go to the park. So never, memorize, you never use will after if. So the next mistake we usually make when we want to describe something, and we have to ask a question: how does it look like? So usually people think that the question how does it look like is correct, but it is incorrect. We have to say, instead of how does it look like, we have to use how does it look. You can say what does it look like, but how does it look? So if you want to use question word how, you have to say how does it look. You have to stop at look. How does it look? But if you use question word what, you can say what does it look like. You will ask me, what is the difference between how does it look and what does it look like? How does it look? When I don't want to know details, when I want to to hear the description in general. And what does it look like? It is when I want to know more details about this house or car or phone, like anything. The next mistake is with the same question words, how and what. Yes, people usually confuse them. So our mistake is to say how is it called. When you want to know the name of something, you don't have to ask how is it called. You have to ask what is it called. For example, I have this and I will ask what is it called, not how is it called. What is it called? It is a hairbrush. What is it called? Or for example, this. How is it called? No. What is it called? It's a lipstick. What is it called? So if you want to know the name of something, you have to ask what is it called. Next mistake is that sometimes people don't know about stative verbs. Why these verbs are stative verbs? Because they describe condition or state but not an action. So the verb know is one of them. So the verb know in our sentence is a stative verb. Is she knowing it? I never use know in continuous tense. I will say, does she know it? But never use know or other stative verbs in continuous tenses. Does she know it? So next mistake is connected to modal verbs. Modal verbs are, for example, must, should, can. So my mistake here is I can to swim. A lot of students who learn English, they usually use to, like they use infinitive after the word can, after modal verbs. So never use infinitive with to after modal verbs. You can't say I should to swim. You never say I must to swim. You have to say I can swim, I should swim, I must swim. So you never use infinitive with to after modal verbs. So just say I can swim, I should swim, I must swim, and other modal verbs. Okay, the next mistake, I'm absolutely sure you have made these mistakes, or maybe you're still making them. So the next one is word order in subordinate clauses. So what is subordinate clause? Subordinate clause, it is a clause that cannot express a complete thought, although it has subject and a verb, but it can't stand alone as a sentence. So let's look at our sentences. The first sentence has a question, do you know? And then we have subordinate clause. And in our mistake, and usually we make this mistake, where is the pen? We are trying to make the word order in subordinate clause as we are making a question, but it's incorrect. We have to say, do you know where the pen is? So here we have word order as in the positive sentence. So the sentence "Do you know where is the pen" is incorrect, but "Do you know where the pen is" is correct. So pay attention to subordinate clauses. I think you have heard the mistake "Do you know who is he?" But it's incorrect. You have to use the word order as in non-question sentence. Do you know who he is? Okay, the last mistake is the sequence of tenses in indirect speech. Here we have an example of direct speech. John says, "I am nervous." And usually we make a mistake. John said he is nervous. So here's a mistake because we do not change our tense. Is nervous. John said that he is nervous in the past when we were talking to him. Maybe right now he is not nervous anymore. So when we change direct to indirect speech, we have to change our tenses. Not John said he is nervous, but John said he was nervous. He was nervous that time we were talking to him. That's it for today. We have discussed 10 most common mistakes everyone makes. Remember, it is okay to make mistakes. Just analyze your mistakes, correct them, and then practice correct variants. And remember, practice makes perfect. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a nice day and see you later.